us on social media at Join RSD, the Riverside County Sheriff's Department.
Put a frog in a pot of boiling water and it'll jump right out. But put a frog in a pot of cool water and slowly heat it up, that frog will boil. As a metaphor for us and all that we go through as veterans, it's a story that rings true. We learn to endure the heat in silence. We apply what we learn to life. The bills, the job, the family. Things we're expected to handle with ease. When life heats up around us, we just try to stay afloat. We let the water boil. Reaching out isn't easy, but you've never been interested in easy. You join because you are not afraid of hard work. You are not a frog. If you or a veteran you know needs support, don't wait until the water boils. Reach out. Find resources at va.gov/reach. That's va.gov/reach. Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel angry or depressed most of the time? Do you feel neglected or unloved?
Do you feel that if the drinker loved you, she or he would stop drinking?
If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
Not everyone trapped by alcohol is an alcoholic.
Families and friends are suffering too. Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
In the jungle, the mighty jungle, the sheep sleep tonight. Oh, in the jungle, the quiet jungle, the sheep sleep tonight. Oh, yeah.
It just isn't the same without the lion. Join the San Diego Zoo Wildlife Alliance today. Visit sdzwa.org.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max in the morning.
LA Sports Talk all day long. 710 ESPN. This is Sports Center all night on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
Oh, it's a big weekend. Sports Center all night, ESPN Radio, the ESPN app, Sirius XM Channel 80, presented by Progressive Insurance. Now, the Houston Astros have flipped the script after trailing 2-1 in the Fall Classic. The Astros head back home up 3-2 in the series, a win away from their second championship in franchise history. Framber Valdez gets the starting nod in Game 6 for the Astros. He'll be opposed by Zach Wheeler, right-hander of the Philadelphia Phillies. Dusty Baker, the Astros manager, has had a terrific career, but the one thing eluding him, a World Series title. Former big leaguer Curtis Granderson jumped on Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max to give the Astros manager some much-deserved love.
He's someone I wish I would have had a chance to play for. You know, you look down the list of players you wanted to play for, but that's a manager I wish I had a chance to lead me when I was stepping on the field. So he brings this one home, and he's just getting older and older, but at the same time, I don't see him stepping away from the game. He could be one of those managers that kind of goes against the trend we're seeing in baseball where they're getting younger and younger. Here's someone that's one of the oldest that if he wins, keep him around and see if he can get older and older and keep winning.
Remember, Dusty Baker inherited quite the situation when taking the Astros managerial position a few years ago when A.J. Hinch was dismissed. 20 years ago, Dusty Baker had a 3-2 series lead with the San Francisco Giants in the World Series, but would fall in 7 games to the then Anaheim Angels. Here's Friday's Top Sounds with Steve Lennox.
Number 4.
Chris, ACC college football Friday night. Duke on the road against Boston College. Blue Devils, Riley Leonard. This impressive run coming in the first quarter. David Shoemate the call from Learfield.
From the shotgun, here's Leonard. Ready? Here's the snap. Awkward one-handed it well. Going to keep it himself running right. 45, bounces outside. Here goes Leonard. 40, 30, down the right sideline. Say goodbye. Touchdown. Well, he made amends. And Riley Leonard is dancing in the end zone as the Blue Devils strike first.
Number 3.
On the ice, NHL Friday night, the hat trick for Mr. Aho of the Hurricanes. The call from 99.9, The Fan.
Clock comes out to Teravainen. Aho Bingo! Here come the Hex!
Number 2.
NBA Celtics home in Boston against the Bulls Friday night. How about the throwdown from Jaylen Brown? The call from 98.5, the Sports Hub.
Cross to the left hand. Kick out to the cutter. Jalen elevates and throws it down hard with the right hand over Vucevic. Jaylen Brown has entered the chat.
Number 1.
Lots going on right now off the court with the Brooklyn Nets. Kevin Durant says he just wants to play some hoops. He did that Friday night in our nation's capital as the Nets blow out the Wizards. Ian Eagle the call on the Yes Network.
Thomas to Durant. The fake. The shot. Oh! Ankle breaker! KD! Put it on the highlight reel. You got this double gasp from the crowd.
Those are Friday night's top sounds with Steve Lennox. Can only imagine what the top sounds will ring tomorrow night later on, as Saturday brings us many great college football matchups and, of course, Game 6 of the World Series in Houston. Well, on Friday night in Crypto.com Arena, the Los Angeles Lakers, remember, they started 0-5. They've since won 2 straight, piecing together wins at home over the Denver Nuggets and in overtime after a Matt Ryan 3-point buzzer beater to tie the game a few nights ago against the Pelicans. LeBron and the Lakers welcoming in the Utah Jazz on Friday night. Utah would have a lot of success. They'd fill it up all night long, already at 113 points in the fourth quarter. Mike Conley would add on for the Jazz.
Conley, pick and roll Market, open side, bounce pass to Market, tough catch on his hip, recovers, throws it back to Conley, sitting next to Clarkson. They respace, 1 on the clock. Conley throws up a prayer and it's answered. Wow.
Well, the Jazz, remember, they kind of blew things up in the offseason. Rudy Gobert was sent in the trade to Minnesota. Donovan Mitchell was sent over to the Cleveland Cavaliers. But 6-3 entering this matchup on Friday, and with a late lead, a former Laker puts this one on ice for Utah.
Use the time. They're getting the ball out of Conley's hand because Beverly's guarding him. 10 on the clock. Now Clarkson starts with 8. Tries, gets all the way to the window and dunks it. Does a pull-up. Slayer's back the other way and has a little extra former Laker vengeance in that slam dunk.
97.5 the zone, and the Utah Jazz roll on the road. They hand the Lakers their 6th loss, 130-116. Utah got to be the best surprise early in the season, right? The Jazz are 7-3. Lakers dropped to 2-6. Utah led by 27 points from Lauri Markkanen, one of 5 players in double figures. Jordan Clarkson, the former Laker, pitched in 20 points in 29 minutes. On the other side, Anthony Davis led the way in the starting lineup for the Lakers with 22, but it was Russell Westbrook with a team-high 26 off the bench. LeBron James in 34 minutes, 17 points, 10 rebounds, 8 assists, went 0 of 5 from above the three-point line as the Lakers continue struggling from deep to start the season. In Dallas, a really good one on Friday night as the Toronto Raptors visited the Mavericks. Tight game in the fourth as the Raptors made their comeback, but Luka Doncic to the rescue for Dallas.
Didn't win it inbound the ball from the left sideline. Behind the hash mark, in the pull-up. Chested up on by Trent. One bounce and holds. Luka comes and gets it against Barnes. 7 to shoot. Tells everybody to clear out. Along the left sideline. Will step back. Shoot the 3. Hit it! 34 for Doncic. He's 3 of 4 from deep tonight. It's 108-101.
That was heard on 97.1 The Freak. Another night where Luka Doncic stuffs the stat sheet. 35 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. His 8th straight game with 30 points as the Mavs hold off the Raptors 111-110. Dallas now 5-3. Raptors dropped to 5-4 despite outscoring Dallas by 14 in Friday's fourth quarter. In Phoenix, Trailblazers. Portland still without Damian Lillard, but it was a tight game late. Yusuf Nurkic with the Blazers down 2 late in the fourth.
Gets it into Nurk. Here's Grant. Grant drives, goes to the rim, throws it up, no good, lots of contact everywhere. Nurk's putback is in, ties the game.
Rip City Radio, 620. It was tied 106-106. Now, usually this is Dame time, but with no Lillard, the Blazers would turn to a big offseason acquisition to try and get it done on the road in the desert.
Winslow holds on to it, throws it in for Grant. He fades away and buries it. He hits it as time expires. It deflected off the hand of DeAndre Ayton. They're going to review it, but as of right now, Jeremy Grant hits the game-winning shot.
After review, the call on the floor was confirmed, and Portland, behind Jeremy Grant, get out of Phoenix with a 108-106 victory. Grant goes for a game-high 30 points. Blazers, under Chauncey Billups, improved to 6-2 for the Phoenix Suns, just their second loss of the young season. The Suns now also at 6-2. Elsewhere in the association, Grizzlies all over the visiting Charlotte Hornets tonight, 130-99. Memphis started that game by erupting with 41 first quarter points. Still ahead, the latest from the fallout of Kyrie Irving. A big-time partner puts on hold their relationship with the Nets star. How would Brooklyn respond on Friday in D.C.? Find out next at SportsCenter All Night.
Coming up on Monday, will it be the Phillies or the Astros who come away with the World Series title? You won't miss that in our reaction right here on Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max, Monday morning at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and ESPN2.
The top headlines are next on SportsCenter.
The black and gold thrills don't stop this season.
It's over. LAFC are champions of the MLS Western Conference.
It's been a historic 2022 for LAFC, but the job isn't done yet.
They're going to the MLS Cup final.
LAFC have punched their ticket to the MLS Cup for the first time in club history and gear up to face the Philadelphia Union at the Bank today. Coverage starts at noon on 710 ESPN and the ESPN LA app.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-687-5192. That's 800-687-5192. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-687-5192.
Hey, son, how are you feeling?
I'm fine, Pops.
What's on your mind?
I can't explain it.
When your kid can't find the language, find the lyrics. Start a conversation at sounditouttogether.org. Brought to you by Ad Council and Pivotal Ventures.
Every year across America, a staggering 4.2 million youth are homeless or trafficked. Covenant House is the national leader providing safe housing for youth, 50 years strong. Help us fight youth homelessness. Go to covenanthouse.org.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
The Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council present the story of Tom and Levi.
Tom is the smartest man I know. He's been a professor at 2 major universities, been a teacher for over 40 years. One day, he told me that he was having problems in his classes. I think one of the students had asked the question and he didn't remember the answer. I also noticed that he was letting his class out earlier than they were supposed to let out. And he was telling them that he was doing it as a favor to them, but I think in reality he just wanted to get out of there. I was really starting to worry because I saw something was wrong.
Levi and I talked about how it would change our lives, but
he was there beside me, and my love for him was just immense.
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now is the time to talk. Visit alz.org/ourstories to learn more. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Once upon a time, our family had trouble with pests around our home. Did you know that stinging insects send tons of people to the hospital? And teeny ticks and mosquitoes can be all around the yard. Their bites can make people and their pets sick. Mice, rats, and roaches need food and water just like us. You do not want them to visit. They can spread disease and make it hard to breathe. I'm sure glad this story has a happy ending.
Learn how to protect your family at pestworld.org. A public service message from the National Pest Management Association.
KSPN AM 710 Los Angeles. KRDC AM 1110 Pasadena, Los Angeles.
710 ESPN.
Now on SportsCenter all night. The fallout continues for Kyrie Irving.
I just didn't like anything that went on. I feel like it was all unnecessary. I feel like we just kept playing basketball.
Tennessee and Georgia prepare to face off in an SEC showdown.
This is a great game. This is one of the games that the Tennessee fan base circles every single year.
We get you ready for Game 6 of the World Series.
They have to try to hit the ball the other way. They're full happy, and against Framber Valdez, if you do that, ground balls central is going to happen in Minute Maid Park.
Plus, we take you up and down the court around the NBA.
Over to Marcus Morris, three-pointer left wing. Yes, Marcus Morris comes through.
This is SportsCenter all night.
Y'all want to try Martin Hunt? You guys want to?
Oh, Freddie Coleman sitting in his head and saying he's not cheating. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it.
Here's Chris Sylvester.
SportsCenter all night is on ESPN Radio, the ESPN app, and Sirius XM Channel 80. Glad you're with us. I'm Chris Sylvester, and what a weekend we have on tap. A big day of college football coming up. We'll get you ready for the top matchups in the SEC. Game 6 of the World Series is here. Astros back home in Houston with a 3-2 series lead over the Philadelphia Phillies. But we start with the continued fallout in Brooklyn. On Friday, a night after Kyrie Irving was suspended by the Brooklyn Nets for at least 5 games without pay after failing to formally apologize for his social media post and failing to clarify whether he held anti-Semitic beliefs, Irving has since given an apology over an Instagram post on Thursday night, but on Friday, Nike announced a suspension of its relationship with Brooklyn Nets star Kyrie Irving in the wake of the controversy. Nike also said it will no longer launch Irving's new shoe, the Kyrie 8. Irving's deal with Nike was initially set to expire on
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max in the morning.
On LA's mega sports station.
LA Sports Talk all day long.
710 ESPN.
The big question around the sports world Friday was the Thursday night social media apology enough? Earlier on ESPN Radio, Chris Carlin on Canty and Carlin.
We could say whatever we want at this point. Kyrie, last night, his apology rings hollow. It's late, and it comes after there was finally some discipline handed out to him. He had several other opportunities to come out and speak and do the right thing, and he never did because he didn't want to apologize. And frankly, until I actually see him do it on a video or at least see him speak into a microphone and say, I'm sorry, I'm not going to believe in anything that Kyrie Irving says right now.
Now, Nets GM Sean Marks on Friday said the social media apology was a good first step for Kyrie in working back from the suspension, but said Irving will need to take more steps, including counseling designated by the team, as well as meeting with Jewish leaders within the Brooklyn community before being able to play for the Nets again. When asked if the Nets had thought about waiving Kyrie Irving on Friday, Sean Marks, the general manager, said no. Freddie Coleman on Freddie and Fitzsimmons made one thing clear. The Nets still really want Kyrie Irving.
They want to do everything possible, Teron,
to make sure Kyrie Irving comes back. Everything else be damned when it comes to the Brooklyn Nets. When you are a bucket getter, when you bring that kind of attention to an organization, that organization said, well, for the 88th time, we believe he'll do right. At the 88 times, they're hoping that Kyrie Irving has learned his lesson. The more you keep putting that out there, the Brooklyn Nets, the more you give Kyrie Irving the feeling bolder that no matter what I say, no matter what I do, but because my ability to put the ball in the hole, this organization is going to want me around. Why would he believe or think anything else when throughout his whole life, anything that he has said or done, people have made excuses for it, and the Brooklyn Nets are no exception.
So Brooklyn on the back end of a tumultuous week. In action Friday night on the road against the Washington Wizards. Late first quarter, Nets up 10. That's when KD got cooking.
Thomas to Durant. The fake. The second. Oh! Ankle breaker! KD! Put it on the highlight reel. You got the double gasp from the crowd.
Iron Eagle, Yes Network, Brooklyn up a dozen at the break. Third quarter, the Nets and Durant would put the game out of reach.
Sumner, the board. Look at the speed of Sumner. Gets into it early with Thomas. Spin. Flip. Durant. Drive. Slam. Kevin Durant. Big finish.
Again, the Yes Network, all Brooklyn all night long in D.C. Friday. Nets capture their third win of the season, 128-86 over the Wizards on a night where Kevin Durant flirts with a triple-double. KD finishes with 28 points, 11 rebounds, 9 assists. And here's what he had to say with Yes Network's Megan Triplett after the game.
I mean, KD, you had 7 guys in double figures. I mean, everything was going for you guys. Describe the team effort to get this win.
Yeah, man, we didn't shoot around. We had some good sets. We drew up, and we knew some of that stuff would work against this team. So we just continued to move the basketball all night. Everybody touched it. Everybody got to the paint and was able to generate some good offense, and that's how we want to play moving forward.
Now, when it comes to generating good offense, I got your right stats tonight. 28 points, 9 rebounds, 11 assists. When you can move the ball like that, how lethal can this team be?
I mean, that's the name of the game is, playing off of each other and being able to complement one another. And I think tonight on both ends of the floor, we did a great job.
And I got to ask you about that first quarter move. You hit a guy with the splits. Everybody wants a name for that move. How would you just describe it?
I really thought he slipped on some sweat there, so I can't take full credit for it, but I was glad that we was able to get some momentum. I was able to get some space to do my thing, and I'm glad I finished the shot too.
Now Brooklyn 3-6 after Friday night's win. Lost in the drama surrounding Kyrie Irving, the organization, and the wild week for the franchise. It was interim head coach Jacques Vaughn's first win since taking over for Steve Nash. After the game, he weighed in on what went right for the Nets in D.C.
I'll give you one on each end of the floor. I think offensively, the 32 assists really stand out. Guys were really moving the basketball. Kevin was a hub for us tonight. We really put them in a tough bind of double teaming him. He was a willing passer, and then he capitalized when he had the opportunities too. And then defensively, the second half, 29 points. Pretty nicely done by our group to have pride in getting stops. And so those two things really stood out.
Sports Center all night, ESPN Radio. Elsewhere in the association, you saw it on ESPN Friday night. The Chicago Bulls in Boston taking on the Celtics. Third quarter, tight game. Jaylen Brown, clear for takeoff.
Brogdon to the left hand. Kick out to the cutter. Jaylen elevates and throws it down hard with the right hand over Vucevic. Jaylen Brown has entered the chat. Whew.
98.5, the Sports Hub. 2 of Brown's 16 points on the night. Bulls wouldn't go away. They got 46 on Friday from DeMar DeRozan. But in crunch time, Jason Tatum would have the last laugh for Boston.
Tatum, top of the circle against Levine. Steps to his right. Tough fall away. Got it. That's just a big-time shot.
Again, 98.5, the Sports Hub. Tatum goes for a team-high 36 points. Also added 12 rebounds, and Boston holds off Chicago 123-119. Celtics improved to 5-3. Bulls dropped to 5-5. Boston heads to New York tonight to take on the Knicks. Speaking of the Knicks, on the road at the Sixers Friday night, New York in Philadelphia. No James Harden, no Joel Embiid for Philadelphia Friday. But the shorthanded Sixers would play well much of Friday at home. Up 9 after 3 quarters. But the Knicks would chip away at the deficit. Obi Toppin, a big shot from the outside.
Barrett up top, picked up by Harrell, nearly traveled for Brunson. Down low Randall, right block, backing out Harris. Spins, 8 to shoot. For Toppin, left corner 3, knocks it down.
98.7 ESPN New York. Knicks up 1 at that point. Next trip down the floor, New York's big offseason splash would push the advantage.
Brunson fakes, drives the runner, got it, and he's fouled. Jalen Brunson off his back leg with the finish and a chance at 3. And the Knicks, with 1:05 to go, up 99-96. The foul on Reed's is 4th. What a turn of events in Philadelphia.
So in Philadelphia, Jalen Brunson and the Knicks able to push by the shorthanded Sixers on the road, 106-104. New York now evens its record at 4-4. They get a team high 23 from Brunson. Tyrese Maxey at a game high 31 points in defeat for the Sixers. Be a part of SportsCenter All Night Nation on the Dr. Pepper call-in line. Call us at 888-SAY-ESPN. That's 888-729-3776. ESPN Nation is presented by Dr. Pepper. It ain't college football season without the delicious taste of an ice-cold Dr. Pepper, the one fans deserve. Still ahead, plenty more to recap around the NBA Friday night. Plus, we'll get you set for what should be a terrific day of college football. You're locked into SportsCenter All Night on ESPN Radio.
Coming up on Monday, will it be the Phillies or the Astros who come away with the World Series title? You won't miss that in our reaction right here on Keyshawn J. Will X, Monday morning at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and ESPN2.
This is SportsCenter All Night.
After a disastrous Week 8, the Rams are back on the road and headed to Tampa Bay for a battle at Raymond James Stadium with Brady and the Bucs.
A playoff rematch from last season.
Coverage kicks off tomorrow at 11:30 a.m.
Kickoff at 1:25 from Tampa Bay.
Week 9 on your home of the Super Bowl champs.
Hi, this is Sean McVay of your Los Angeles Rams. 710 ESPN.
If you have ever thought about remodeling your bathroom but were worried it would take too long or cost too much, then stop worrying. Right now, Jacuzzi Bath Remodel has designed a collection of high-quality custom products and perfected the one-day remodeling experience so you can enjoy your new bathroom faster than ever before. It's a worry-free bath remodel from the most trusted brand name in the business, Jacuzzi. A Jacuzzi bath system fits in your existing tub space. It's a no-mess installation with an amazing style selection, factory-certified installers, and a limited lifetime warranty. Call 800-717-4599. That's 800-717-4599 right now and get 50% off installation with no interest and no payments for 12 months. Replace that old bathtub today with a walk-in shower for a safer bathing experience. If you have lived in your home for over 15 years, it's time to remodel your bathroom. For a virtual or in-home appointment, call 800-717-4599. That's 800-717-4599. 800-717-4599.
Recruits, what's your profession?
Are you up for the challenge? The Riverside County Sheriff's Department is hosting an expedited hiring event exclusively for correctional deputies at the Ben Clark Training Center. Join us on Saturday, November 19th to take your written exam, physical agility test, and begin the background process. Register online at joinrsd.org. And don't forget to follow us on social media at JoinRSD, the Riverside County Sheriff's Department.
I noticed that my central vision started to blur.
Figures that are usually straight started to distort to become wavy.
What are these little dark spots with blurring that I'm seeing?
There's a blind spot like a blob over my vision now.
Is my vision lost forever? Why did I wait so long to see a retina specialist?
Retinal disease can steal your eyesight, but it doesn't have to. Patients who seek care from a retina specialist in a timely manner have the best chance of preventing vision loss due to age-related macular degeneration or diabetic retinopathy. AMD symptoms to look out for are distortion or warping of straight lines, as well as blurred or loss of central vision. Patients with diabetic retinopathy should seek treatment if they notice the appearance of spots or floaters or blurred and distorted vision. Don't delay seeing a retina specialist. It's worth the visit to save your vision so you don't miss out on life's precious moments, like seeing your grandchild grow up, enjoying a sunset with that special someone, or reading a good book. Visit seeforalifetime.org.
1 in 3 adults has prediabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your football buddy, your football buddy, or you, your best man, your worst man, you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. That's doihaveprediabetes.org.
Wait, did they just say 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes? That's 33.33333% of adults. That means it could be me, my boss, or my boss's boss, or me, my favorite sister, or my other sister. That's 7 members of my 21-person romantic book club. Wait, the 1 in 3 could be me, my karaoke partner Carol, or my karaoke enemy Jeff. I'm going to take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
LA's mega sports station.
710 ESPN.
This is SportsCenter all night on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
SportsCenter all night, ESPN Radio, SportsCenter all night nation. Tap in with me on Twitter at Chris Sylvester _ or hit us up on the Dr. Pepper call-in line. Well, it's been a struggle out of the gate for the defending NBA champion Golden State Warriors heading into a Friday night tilt in New Orleans against the Pelicans. Golden State had dropped 4 in a row, dropping the early season record to 3-6, including winless in 5 games away from San Francisco. On the second night of a back-to-back, Steve Kerr electing to sit Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and Andrew Wiggins. So the shorthanded Dubs would hang around in the Bayou, down just 4 in the fourth, but Zion Williamson would help push the Pels out in front further.
Graham, get it to Zion, float it out long to Ingram, chest it to Herb, slash into the paint, shovels to Zion, and lays it in.
ESPN Radio New Orleans, Zion would finish with 16 points in 28 minutes, but it was Trey Murphy III with a 3 to put away the Warriors.
Ingram, 1-on-1 with Kuminga. Left-hand dribble, through the legs. Bumped by Poole. Hook it to CJ. Extra pass, Trey. Right corner 3. Boom! Trade the end.
Again, ESPN New Orleans. Pelicans knocked down 12 triples on Friday. 6 guys in double figures scoring, led by Brandon Ingram with a game-high 26. New Orleans 114-105 over Golden State. The Warriors have lost 5 straight, and the first defending NBA champion to start 0-6 on the road in NBA history. Golden State idle until Monday. They'll return home to host the Sacramento Kings. But the Los Angeles Clippers in San Antonio taking on the San Antonio Spurs on Friday night. No Kawhi Leonard against his former franchise. Spurs were up 4 after 3 quarters, but Paul George would help the Clippers rally on the road.
George, left wing 3, off the feed from Wall. Yes! Paul George cans the triple, and the Clippers are back in front. 99-96. George with a 30 spot.
Ted Emmerich on AM 570 LA Sports. That put the Clippers up 3, but San Antonio would keep pace. Tied at 99. Senior would come through for the Clips.
Give it to John Wall, right side of the floor, guarded by Keldon Johnson. 9 on the timer. Lob it to George, center of the floor against the smaller Trey Jones. Working the pivot foot over to Marcus Morris. 3-pointer left wing. Yes! Marcus Morris comes through.
Again, Ted Emmerich on AM 570 LA Sports. 15 makes from above the arc for the Los Angeles Clippers on Friday night. And they win their third straight, 113-106 over San Antonio. Paul George poured in a game-high 35 points. SportsCenter all night, ESPN Radio, presented by Progressive Insurance. The Miami Heat without Jimmy Butler a second straight game, visiting the Indiana Pacers Friday night. And this one would come down to the final moments. Tied at 94, late fourth quarter. Buddy Hield lets it go from deep.
Indiana with the ball. Halliburton, perimeter right. Up top to Nembhard. Nembhard moves to his left, picks up the dribble. Goes to Halliburton, the shot clock to 7. Right edge of the arc. Hield fires and scores. A 3-ball off the catch. His first scoring of the second half. He's got 25. Indiana by 3.
Big night for Buddy Hield. He knocks down 5 trays, goes for 20 points. But Miami would have a chance late. Tyler Hero, fresh off a game winner against the Kings on Wednesday night at home. He'd get a chance to do it again on Friday in Indy.
Hero's looking for a 3 to his right. He takes it, and he missed it off the front of the rim. It was online but short, and time expires. The Pacers hang on to beat the Heat.
101-99. The Pacers get by the Heat. Indiana has won 3 of 4 after a slow start. Well, the Cleveland Cavaliers, who made the late offseason trade to acquire Donovan Mitchell, sitting at 6-1, heading into Detroit on Friday night to visit the Pistons. Donovan Mitchell has already registered the most points in the team's first 7 games of a season in Cavs franchise history. No Donovan Mitchell, no Darius Garland on Friday, though, in Detroit. Cleveland's talented backcourt dealing with minor injuries that they suffered earlier in the week in a big win over the Boston Celtics and sitting this one out. But the Cavs didn't miss a beat. They led by 18 at the half, and Kevin Love would put the cherry on top in the fourth quarter.
LeVert, right corner, Love. Quick 3. Bang! Love try. Kevin Love with a 22-point ball game.
Catch and shoot from the short corner fadeaway. Difficulty.
Cavs roll the Pistons in Detroit 112-88. Cleveland sitting at 7-1. Kevin Love, 21 points, 10 assists off the bench. His first 20-point, 10-assist game as a Cavalier. First time he's accomplished the feat since 2014 as a member of the Minnesota Timberwolves. Isaiah Mobley had 8 blocks in this one, tied for the third most in a game in Cavaliers history, and the most since 1993, a feat accomplished by Larry Nance Sr. Cavs go to Los Angeles to take on the Lakers on Sunday. Well, the Milwaukee Bucks entered Friday night an NBA best 7-0, visiting the Minnesota Timberwolves. Bucks rolling in the fourth, up double figures. Giannis Antetokounmpo working on another big night after this terrific near franchise best start for the Milwaukee Bucks. And Giannis would put the finishing touches on another Milwaukee win.
Crossing over on Edwards. Sends it out top. Giannis. That's one from 3, and he knocks it down. Second 3-ball of the night for the Greek Freak. He's starting to get those numbers climbing again. With that 3-pointer, he's at 2 of 3 from long range here tonight.
Bucks win again, 115-102 over the Timberwolves in Minnesota. Giannis messes around, gets another triple-double, 26 points, 14 rebounds, 11 assists. For the Milwaukee Bucks, it's their first 8-0 start in franchise history. First team to start 8-0 since the Warriors in the 2015-2016 campaign. Golden State started 24-0 that season and wound up going 73-9 before falling to the Cleveland Cavaliers 7 games in the 2016 NBA Finals. SportsCenter all night, ESPN Radio. Short slate in the NHL Friday, just 2 games on the ice in Finland. As part of the NHL Global Series, the defending Stanley Cup champion Colorado Avalanche defeated the Columbus Blue Jackets 6-3. In Carolina, Hurricanes hosting the Buffalo Sabres. Big night for Sebastian Aho. He had 2 goals in the opening period. Carolina up 4-2 in the third, and Aho would strike again.
Puck comes out to Teravainen. Aho! Bingo! Here come the Hats!
5th career hat trick for Sebastian Aho. 5-3 Carolina over Buffalo on ESPN Plus Hockey Night. Tomorrow in the NHL, a much busier slate on the ice, including the Panthers out west taking on the Kings. at 10:30 Eastern. Ducks rematch with the Sharks. You saw that one on ESPN earlier this week when the Ducks outlasted San Jose on the road in overtime. Seattle on the road in Pittsburgh to take on the struggling Penguins. Pittsburgh off to that terrific start. They've faltered since. Perhaps the best matchup on the ice for Saturday features the Dallas Stars on the road in Edmonton, taking on the Oilers. Stars sitting at 7-3-1. Edmonton 7-4-0 to start the season. The Vegas Golden Knights, who've been playing better than anybody not named the Boston Bruins out of the gate, on the road north of the border, taking on the Canadiens at 5-5-1. Bruins, meanwhile, at 10-1 and NHL best, they will head north of the border as well to take on the Toronto Maple Leafs, sitting at 5-4-2. Well, tune in for college football action today as Virginia hosts North Carolina, presented by Dr. Pepper. Coverage begins at 11:30 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. And then later, more college football action. LSU hosts Alabama, presented by Dr. Pepper. Coverage begins at 6:30 p.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. That's a top 10 matchup. Had the college football playoff rankings drop earlier this week. Alabama ranked 6th in the country. LSU, in Brian Kelly's first year, certainly back in the mix. They are sitting at 6-2 overall and the 10th ranked team in the country. Both teams coming off of bye weeks should be healthy, should be well rested, but perhaps not the best college football matchup on the docket Saturday. Top ranked Tennessee, a 9-point underdog on the road at third ranked Georgia. The defending champion Bulldogs undefeated, but they'll get tested against the top ranked Vols. We'll preview those matchups and more coming up on SportsCenter all night, ESPN Radio.
Hey, it's Greeny, and it's the best sports weekend of the year. The World Series, all the football, college, and pro, plus the NBA and NHL in action. And Monday will be the place to talk about it all with me, Greeny. Starting.
Feel the energy of Lakers basketball this season.
Throws across court. Matt Ryan's three.
Sunday, the Lakers homestand continues, and it's Cleveland in town. Lakers Cavs. Coverage begins at 11 a.m. with the Toyota Lakers countdown to tip-off. Sunday, Lakers Cavs.
On your home for Lakers basketball.
And because we will have the Rams on 710 on Sunday, you'll hear all the Lakers coverage on our sister station, 1110 a.m. That's the Lakers Sunday on 1110 a.m.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-687-5192. That's 800-687-5192. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-687-5192.
Every second counts in a poison emergency. That's why Poison Help is standing by 24/7 to provide free assistance in over 100 languages. Save Poison Help as a contact in your phone today. Poison Help. 1-800-222-1222.
To protect his home and family from disaster, Steve used courage, wisdom, and his camera phone.
That should do it.
Way to go, Steve! By simply taking digital pictures of his family's important documents, Steve can always have them stored safely online, no matter when disaster strikes. Learn other simple ways to protect your home and family before a natural disaster at ready.gov. That's ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
So what's a great way to spread awareness that driving high is illegal everywhere? A catchy song, of course.
You can run, or you can't drive high. You can run, or you can't drive high.
Friendly reminder, don't drive high. If you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Talking to your kids about the dangers of vaping can be hard. Getting them to listen to hot gossip is easy. So here's some drama you could share with your kid. Dude, did you hear about Cassie and Jake? No, but did you hear that vaping can cause irreversible lung damage and nicotine affects brain development? Nuh-uh. You don't need to gossip if you want to have an open conversation about vaping. So if you want to get tips on when and how to talk to your kids, visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
LA's morning show is Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
Oh, you guys get me in the mood for turkey now. Already. You see a wild turkey around Thanksgiving, you're like, you look delicious.
Get your Monday morning started
with Key alongside J. Will and Max.
KJM on 710. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max in the morning.
LA Sports Talk all day long. 710.
ESPN.
This is Sports Center all night on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
Sports Center all night, ESPN Radio, presented by Progressive Insurance. It's Progressive's 10th Keys to Progress giveaway for veterans. This year, their goal is to gift a vehicle to a recipient, small business, or nonprofit in every state. See more about their annual giveaway at keystoprogress.com.
Half-hour headlines on Sports Center all night.
Well, Nike is the latest to suspend its partnership with Kyrie Irving. Game 6 of the World Series tonight from Minute Maid Park in Houston. And we've got 2 top 10 matchups in the SEC to highlight a big weekend in college football. Well, the calendar is flipped to November. It's college football's final month of the regular season. And this weekend, the first of 2022, with the college football playoff rankings out. Tennessee gets the CFP's first #1 ranking. Their quarterback, Hendon Hooker, now the betting favorite for the Heisman Award. But does Tennessee deserve that #1 ranking? ESPN college football analyst David Pollack jumped on PTI to give his thoughts.
Tennessee absolutely deserves to be one. When you look at what Tennessee has been able to accomplish this season, you beat Alabama, the #6 team in the country. You beat the absolute snot out of Tennessee, the #10 team, or LSU, the #10 team in the country in Death Valley. So Tennessee by far has the best resume. When you look at their offense, they have been insane. They've been playing great football. So I completely agree with Tennessee being the #1 team in the country. But that being said, playing Georgia in the SEC on the road, another great team, will be a huge challenge for them.
Well, today at 3:30 Eastern, top-ranked Tennessee will get put to the test again on the road at third-ranked Georgia in a game that will all but decide the SEC East representative in next month's conference title game. That means the loser of this game probably finishes with 1 loss and a great resume, but no SEC title game to bolster it. So might we get 3 SEC teams in this year's college football playoff? Again, David Pollack on PTI weighs in.
I don't think it's going to happen. Listen, the committee said it's the 4 best teams. You're supposed to put those in. And when they started the committee, I mean, one thing to keep in mind, 5 Power 5 teams or conferences, only 4 teams. So somebody gets left out, period. But I just don't think the committee will put 3 teams in. The only way it happens, by the way, is if Georgia wins. If Georgia loses, I think with their strength of schedule, I don't think they really have a good chance, unless it was a barn burner, great game. But if Tennessee loses this game and then Georgia goes to the SEC championship game and loses to Alabama, they all beat each other at different locations, it is going to be a mess to suit out how they put them in there. They might have 3 deserving teams, but I don't think they'll get 3 teams in. I don't think they'll do it.
As for the matchup itself, despite the college football playoff rankings, Georgia, a 9-point favorite on Saturday. The odds makers think the Bulldogs are the better team. So does ESPN senior writer Mark Schlabach, who jumped on Freddie and Fitzsimmons earlier.
Yeah, I think Georgia is better in the secondary. They're better at linebacker. They're better on the offensive line. Even without Nolan Smith, I think they're probably better on the defensive line. And Tennessee has struggled to cover tight end, so I think Brock Bowers and Darnell Washington will play big roles. But, if Georgia takes care of the football, I think they probably win the game. But if they turn it over, I think it's going to be difficult to stop Tennessee, and you can't have mulligans on their possessions.
Well, protecting the ball to win, a big key for the Bulldogs. But how about that Georgia defense? Nobody has had an answer for Hendon Hooker, Tennessee's starting quarterback this year. ESPN college football analyst Trevor Maddich on Spain and Fitz.
They're not going to sack him, and I don't know that they'll really try to sack him as a first priority. The first priority is to keep him in the pocket. Don't let him scramble out. Don't let him run. So they'll compress the pocket rather than try to pierce the pocket, and then let pressures and sacks come as they may. It's going to be harder because Nolan Smith is injured. Linebacker Torres Peck out for the season, their best edge rusher. Now, they've got good guys that'll replace him, but remember that Tennessee feasts on momentary hesitations. Now you got guys thrust into higher roles than they're accustomed to. But what will help Georgia is that Jalen Carter is back on the defensive line. And the fact that he's back and he's healthy, or relatively healthy, I think gives them the best chance to get the actual disruption into the pocket.
Well, perhaps the college football playoff rankings will look a lot different when they come out again Tuesday on ESPN. SportsCenter all night here on ESPN Radio, ESPN app, Sirius XM Channel 80. Chris Sylvester with you, taking you into a big weekend of college football. It's not just Georgia, Tennessee that headlines a terrific slate. It's LSU-Bama. You can tune in for college football action tonight on ESPN Radio. LSU hosting Alabama, presented by Dr. Pepper. Coverage begins at 6:30 p.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. Alabama near 2 touchdown favorites headed to LSU. Crimson Tide, since that mid-October last-second loss at Tennessee, they responded the next week with a 24-point win over Mississippi State, followed by a bye week. So Alabama should be well-rested, but sitting at 6 in the college football playoff rankings, there's little room for error. Mark Schlabach, ESPN senior writer on Freddie and Fitzsimmons, says there is some cause for concern.
And we kind of forget that Alabama had 18 penalties. I think it was 3 turnovers, a missed field goal, a botched 2-minute drive. And if Jahmyr Gibbs catches the ball out of the backfield, Alabama probably beats Tennessee at Neyland Stadium. As bad as Alabama played, they still had a chance to win the game in the last minutes. I still think they're one of the most talented teams in the country, but the lack of discipline and just attention to detail this year has just been stunning to me for a Nick Saban team. It's probably the most undisciplined team he's ever had.
10th-ranked LSU also coming off an idle weekend. Tigers sitting at 6-2 under first-year head coach Brian Kelly, who took the job coming from Notre Dame in the offseason. It's the first matchup between Brian Kelly and Nick Saban since the old BCS National Championship game about a decade ago. LSU ranked 10th in the country and fresh off their best win by 25 points over previously undefeated Ole Miss 2 weeks ago. ESPN's Ian Fitzsimmons on Freddie and Fitzsimmons with high praise for LSU quarterback Jaden Daniels.
This is a confident bunch.
Absolutely.
Jaden Daniels, their quarterback, he is playing his best football right now. And Kelly told me in that conversation we had earlier today, and then off air, that it took some time for us to figure out what he does best, and it took some time for him to figure out what we want him to do. And we kind of did less better, if that makes sense. And that's part of the reason why things are starting to click with him. And the offensive line's playing better. They're getting better play out of their center. Will Campbell, who was a true freshman at this point, you played, you're no longer a freshman at this point in the season, coming into week 9, week 10. I mean, you've been calloused a bit. The true freshman, Will Campbell, 66, he has gotten a lot better. So they've gotten healthier, but it all starts offensively with Jaden Daniels, and he's playing his best football coming into this Titanic matchup.
Well, it's not often that LSU-Alabama isn't the top matchup of the weekend, but it's still pretty good. And we'll have it for you again, 6:30 Eastern, ESPN Radio, ESPN app. So much discussion talking about those college football playoff rankings that came out earlier this week. Some felt teams were ranked a little too high. I know Clemson was talked about as a team that maybe didn't deserve to be in the top 4. nobody's really talking about the lone undefeated out of the Big 12. Maybe because it's not Oklahoma, maybe because it's not Texas, but we're talking about TCU, an undefeated Horned Frog bunch. They've looked very good when tested against some of the top teams in the country this year. Mark Schlabach, ESPN senior writer on Freddie and Fitzsimmons, talking about TCU. They should be angry being 7th in the college football playoff rankings with an undefeated record.
I mean, TCU be like 3 ranked teams in consecutive weeks and came back and won. And it's like, you know, we're penalizing TCU for coming back from double digits, which is probably tougher than being ahead by 20 in the first half and winning. And that's like, we're acting like that's a bad thing. Sonny Dykes, if Josh Heupel, the Tennessee coach who inherited a dumpster fire from Jeremy Pruitt, isn't the national coach of the year, then it's probably Sonny Dykes. I mean, he has done a remarkable job. Out of all the rankings on the first edition of the college football playoff poll, I thought TCU probably got a job more than anybody.
7th-ranked TCU at noon Eastern, an 8-point favorite hosting 4-4 Texas Tech. Other undefeated teams, number 2 Ohio State on the road at Northwestern. That'll kick off at noon Eastern on ABC. Ohio State, a 38-point favorite on the road. 8th-ranked Oregon, remember their lone loss of the season way back in week 1 against Georgia. They've rebounded nicely. Bo Nix, the Auburn transfer at quarterback, has looked really good. 8th-ranked Oregon, 7-1 on the road at 1-7 Colorado. You can catch that on ESPN 3:30 Eastern. Oregon, a big favorite there. A 31.5-point favorite on the road in Boulder. 5th-ranked Michigan still hanging around, very much alive in those college football playoff rankings. Remember, the Wolverines were the Big Ten representative in last season's college football playoff. At 8-0, they visit Rutgers tonight at 7:30 p.m. Michigan, a 26-point favorite. 4th-ranked Clemson. If the season were to end today, Dabo Swinney and the Tigers are in. Off a bye week last weekend. Prior to that, the come-from-behind victory when they changed quarterbacks against Syracuse at home. 4th-ranked Clemson at 8-0. They visit Notre Dame, who just beat Syracuse on the road. Clemson, a 4-point favorite in a game that kicks off at 7:30 Eastern tonight. We did have some college football under the Friday night lights in the ACC.
Here's the snap. The give to Jaquez Moore, and he'll spin his way towards the goal line, and Moore is in for the touchdown. His second of the night, and the Blue Devils stretch the lead back to 16 with the extra point to come.
David Shoemate with the call from Learfield. Duke would hold off Boston College Friday night, 38-31. And the Blue Devils improved to 6-3. Get on your bowling shoes, Dukies. Duke is bowl eligible with the Friday night win. Jim Mora and UConn in action Friday night, looking for a 5th win, looking to get to 500, hosting UMass, and UConn takes care of business over the Minutemen 27-10. Jim Mora's UConn Huskies, 5-5, potentially flirting with a bowl eligible season here in 2022. Well, the World Series is on ESPN Radio. Later on tonight, we'll have Game 6 between the Philadelphia Phillies and the Houston Astros from Minute Maid Park, presented by AutoZone. Catch all the action tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio, the ESPN app, and Sirius XM Channel 80. Still ahead, it is Game 6 of the World Series tonight in Houston. Dusty Baker, 1 win away from what would be his first World Series title as a manager. Plus, we'll check in on more action around the NBA and give you Friday's top sounds at SportsCenter all night on ESPN Radio.
Coming up Monday, what's it going to take for the New York Football Giants to run the NFC East moving forward? We'll lay it out on Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. Monday morning, 6 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio and ESPN2.
More SportsCenter all night. Next.
The black and gold thrills don't stop this season.
It's over. LAFC are champions of the MLS Western Conference.
It's been a historic 2022 for LAFC, but the job isn't done yet.
They're going to the MLS Cup final.
LAFC have punched their ticket to the MLS Cup for the first time in club history and gear up to face the Philadelphia Union at the Bank today. Coverage starts at noon on 710 ESPN and the ESPN LA app.
Accident or injury, call Jacob Emrani. Call Jacob.
My good friend Jacob Emrani. You are the biggest and the best with an extraordinary team around you.
Our team consists of people who are the best in the industry. That's how we're successful in achieving amazing results for our clients.
Call Jacob 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB, or go to calljacob.com.
Call Jacob.
If I could be you.
And you could be me for just 1 hour.
If you could find a way
to get inside each other's mind.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
We've all felt left out. And for some, that feeling lasts more than a moment. We can change that. Learn how at belongingbeginswithus.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
Slip it, cuff it, check it. Talk to doctor now and share it.
Nearly 1 in 2 U.S. adults have high blood pressure. That's why it's important to self-monitor your blood pressure in 4 easy-to-remember steps. It starts with a monitor. Be next to talk to your doctor about your blood pressure numbers. Get down with your blood pressure. Self-monitoring is power. Visit manageyourbp.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council, the American Heart Association, and the American Medical Association, in partnership with the Office of Minority Health and Health Resources and Services Administration.
Blood clots can happen to anyone. Up to 900,000 people in the United States are affected by blood clots each year, and 100,000 die from them. Blood clots don't discriminate. You or a loved one could be at risk right now. The good news is blood clots can be prevented. Knowing the risks and symptoms are key. On average, 1 person in the United States dies of a blood clot every 6 minutes. Don't let that be you or someone you know. Learn more at stoptheclot.org/spread the word.
In honor of all those we've lost to cancer and those still fighting, like basketball analyst Dick Vitale.
I want to beat cancer. I'm going to beat it. That's no doubt in my mind. I'm going to win this battle.
Defeating cancer will take all of us. At the V Foundation, V is for victory over cancer. V is for victory over giving up.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Join the V Foundation team. 100% of donations fund game-changing cancer research. Donate now at V.org.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max in the morning on LA's mega sports station. LA Sports Talk all day long. 710 ESPN.
This is Sports Center all night on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
Oh, it's a big weekend. Sports Center all night, ESPN Radio, the ESPN app, Sirius XM Channel 80, presented by Progressive Insurance. Now, the Houston Astros have flipped the script after trailing 2-1 in the Fall Classic. The Astros head back home up 3-2 in the series, a win away from their second championship in franchise history. Framber Valdez gets the starting nod in Game 6 for the Astros. He'll be opposed by Zach Wheeler, right-hander of the Philadelphia Phillies. Dusty Baker, the Astros manager, has had a terrific career, but the one thing eluding him, a World Series title. Former big leaguer Curtis Granderson jumped on Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max to give the Astros manager some much-deserved love.
He's someone I wish I would have had a chance to play for. You know, you look down the list of players you wanted to play for, but that's a manager I wish I had a chance to lead me when I was stepping on the field. So he brings this one home, and he's just getting older and older. But at the same time, I don't see him stepping away from the game. He could be one of those managers that kind of goes against the trend we're seeing in baseball where they're getting younger and younger. Here's someone that's one of the oldest that if he wins, keep him around and see if he can get older and older and keep winning.
Remember, Dusty Baker inherited quite the situation when taking the Astros managerial position a few years ago when A.J. Hinch was dismissed. 20 years ago, Dusty Baker had a 3-2 series lead with the San Francisco Giants in the World Series, but would fall in 7 games to the then Anaheim Angels. Here's Friday's Top Sounds with Steve Lennox.
Number 4.
Chris, ACC college football Friday night. Duke on the road against Boston College. Blue Devils, Riley Leonard. This impressive run coming in the first quarter. David Shoemate the call from Learfield.
From the shotgun, here's Leonard. Ready? Here's the snap. Awkward one, handed it well. Going to keep it himself running right. 45, bounces outside. Here goes Leonard. 40, 30, down the right sideline. Say goodbye. Touchdown. Well, he made amends. And Riley Leonard is dancing in the end zone as the Blue Devils strike first.
Number 3.
On the ice, NHL Friday night, the hat trick for Mr. Aho of the Hurricanes. The call from 99.9, The Fan.
Puck comes out to Teravainen. Aho! Bingo! Here come the Hats!
Number 2.
NBA Celtics home in Boston against the Bulls Friday night. How about the throwdown from Jaylen Brown? The call from 98.5, The Sports Hub.
Cross from the left hand. Kick out to the cutter. Jaylen elevates and throws it down hard with the right hand over Vucevic. Jaylen Brown has entered the chat.
Number 1.
Lots going on right now off the court with the Brooklyn Nets. Kevin Durant says he just wants to play some hoops. He did that Friday night in our nation's capital as the Nets blow out the Wizards. Ian Eagle the call on the Yes Network.
Thomas to Durant. The fake. The second. Oh! Ankle breaker! JD! Put it on the highlight reel. You got the double gasp from the crowd.
Those are Friday night's top sounds with Steve Lennox. Can only imagine what the top sounds will ring tomorrow night later on as Saturday brings us many great college football matchups and, of course, Game 6 of the World Series in Houston. Well, on Friday night in Crypto.com Arena, the Los Angeles Lakers, remember they started 0-5. They've since won 2 straight, piecing together wins at home over the Denver Nuggets and in overtime after a Matt Ryan three-point buzzer beater to tie the game a few nights ago against the Pelicans. LeBron and the Lakers welcoming in the Utah Jazz on Friday night. Utah would have a lot of success. They'd fill it up all night long, already at 113 points in the fourth quarter. Mike Conley would add on for the Jazz.
Conley, pick and roll Martin, open side, bounce pass to Martin, tough catch on his hip, recovers, throws it back to Conley, sitting next to Clarkson. They respace, 1 on the clock. Conley throws up a prayer and it's answered. Wow.
Well, the Jazz, remember, they kind of blew things up in the offseason. Rudy Gobert was sent in the trade to Minnesota. Donovan Mitchell was sent over to the Cleveland Cavaliers. But 6-3 entering this matchup on Friday. And with a late lead, a former Laker puts this one on ice for Utah.
Use the time. They're getting the ball out of Conley's hand because Beverly's guarding him. 10 on the clock. Now Clarkson starts with 8. Drives, gets all the way to the window and dunks it. Does a pull-up, flares back the other way, and has a little extra former Laker vengeance in that slam dunk.
97.5 the zone, and the Utah Jazz roll on the road. They hand the Lakers their 6th loss, 130-116. Utah got to be the best surprise early in the season, right? The Jazz are 7-3. Lakers dropped to 2-6. Utah led by 27 points from Lauri Markkanen, one of 5 players in double figures. Jordan Clarkson, the former Laker, pitched in 20 points in 29 minutes. On the other side, Anthony Davis led the way in the starting lineup for the Lakers with 22, but it was Russell Westbrook with a team-high 26 off the bench. LeBron James in 34 minutes, 17 points, 10 rebounds, 8 assists, went 0 of 5 from above the three-point line as the Lakers continue struggling from deep to start the season. In Dallas, a really good one on Friday night as the Toronto Raptors visited the Mavericks. Tight game in the fourth as the Raptors made their comeback, but Luka Doncic to the rescue for Dallas.
Didn't win it inbound the ball from the left sideline. Behind the hash mark, into Bullock. Chested up on by Trent. One bounce and holds. Luka comes and gets it against Barnes. 7 to shoot. Tells everybody to clear out. Along the left sideline. Will step back. Shoot the 3. Hit it! 34 for Doncic. He's 3 of 4 from deep tonight. It's 108-101.
That was heard on 97.1 The Freak. Another night where Luka Doncic stuffs the stat sheet. 35 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. his 8th straight game with 30 points as the Mavs hold off the Raptors 111-110. Dallas now 5-3. Raptors dropped to 5-4 despite outscoring Dallas by 14 in Friday's fourth quarter. In Phoenix, Trailblazers. Portland still without Damian Lillard, but it was a tight game late. Yusuf Nurkic with the Blazers down 2 late in the fourth.
Gets into Nurk. Here's Grant. Grant drives, goes to the rim, throws it up. No good. Lots of contact everywhere. Nurk's putback is in, ties the game.
Rip City Radio, 620. It was tied 106-106. Now, usually this is Dame time, but with no Lillard, the Blazers would turn to a big offseason acquisition to try and get it done on the road in the desert.
Winslow holds on to it. Throws it in for Hart. For Grant, he fades away and buries it. He hits it as time expires. It deflected off the hand of DeAndre Ayton. They're going to review it. But as of right now, Jeremy Grant hits the game-winning shot.
After review, the call on the floor was confirmed, and Portland, behind Jeremy Grant, get out of Phoenix with a 108-106 victory. Grant goes for a game-high 30 points. Blazers, under Chauncey Billups, improved to 6-2 for the Phoenix Suns, just their second loss of the young season. The Suns now also at 6-2. Elsewhere in the association, Grizzlies all over the visiting Charlotte Hornets tonight, 130-99. Memphis started that game by erupting with 41 first quarter points. Still ahead, the latest from the fallout of Kyrie Irving. A big-time partner puts on hold their relationship with the Nets star. How would Brooklyn respond on Friday in D.C.? Find out next at SportsCenter All Night.
Coming up on Monday, will it be the Phillies or the Astros who come away with the World Series title? You won't miss that in our reaction right here on Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max, Monday morning at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and ESPN2.
After a disastrous Week 8, the Rams are back on the road and headed to Tampa Bay for a battle at Raymond James Stadium with Brady and the Bucs.
A playoff rematch from last season.
Coverage kicks off tomorrow at 11:30 a.m.
Kickoff at 1:25 from Tampa Bay.
Week 9 on your home of the Super Bowl champs.
Hi, this is Sean McVay of your Los Angeles Rams. 710 ESPN.
Anyone who has ever needed self-storage knows what a hassle it can be. You have to rent or borrow a truck and then find someone to help you move your stuff. And let's face it, moving furniture and heavy items without damaging them isn't easy. Renting the unit is worse. The hidden fees and admin costs are scarier than the dingy facilities you're leaving your stuff in. Why not use ClosetBox instead? ClosetBox is self-storage without leaving home. They'll pick up your belongings, store them securely, and bring any item back when you need it. The best part? Unlike traditional self-storage, you only pay for what you store. No paying for unused storage space. ClosetBox's background check storage movers are licensed, bonded, and insured and will take care of all of the heavy lifting. ClosetBox's local storage centers are temperature controlled and monitored 24/7. ClosetBox has an A+ rating from the BBB. Call 877-233-5696 now for the season's best rates. Get $50 off first month storage using code Radio50. That's 877-233-5696. 877-233-5696.
Recruits, what's your profession?
Are you up for the challenge? The Riverside County Sheriff's Department is hosting an expedited hiring event exclusively for correctional deputies at the Ben Clark Training Center. Join us on Saturday, November 19th to take your written exam, physical agility test, and begin the background process. Register online at joinrsd.org. And don't forget to follow us on social media at JoinRSD, the Riverside County Sheriff's Department.
Mama, what does the chicken say?
Chicken. Oh, okay.
Wolf?
Oh, a wolf.
Ooh! What about the tiny dog? Cat. Owl. Dolphin? What does the turkey say? Whale.
Whale. So.
Do the giraffe.
Giraffe, really? Okay. Giraffe. Giraffe.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are buckled correctly in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right.
Visit NHTSA.gov/the right seat.
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
The future depends on teachers. Every day, teachers are shaping our tomorrows, starting their students on journeys that will change the course of history. Right now, in a classroom somewhere in the United States, there's a teacher inspiring a future scientist who will make preventing pandemics their life's work, sharpening the mind of an aspiring environmentalist who will help combat climate change, and generating possibilities for a student who will be the first in their family to graduate college. It all starts with teachers who meet challenges with creativity, who reinvent education for the future, who work towards a school system that lifts up every child, regardless of race, income, or zip code, and to enable the full potential of our students, our communities, and our country. Explore a career that leaves a legacy you can be proud of. Shape the future. Teach. Learn more and receive free support at teach.org.
KSPN AM 710 Los Angeles. KRDC AM 1110 Pasadena, Los Angeles.
710 ESPN.
A Good Karma Brands radio station.
On SportsCenter all night. The fallout continues for Kyrie Irving.
I just didn't like anything that went on. I feel like it was all unnecessary. I feel like we could have just kept playing basketball.
Tennessee and Georgia prepare to face off in an SEC showdown.
This is a great game. This is one of the games.
Just send a text for a complimentary bottle. And by the way, she'll like it too.
Get your complimentary bottle of Nugenix now. Text BINGO to 42424. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, with key ingredients to help you get back in shape fast. Absolutely free. That's BINGO to 42424.
All right, all you familiar with the show Blues Clues, I need you to grab your skates, your notebook, and a number 2 pencil because it's from the ECHL, the Atlanta Gladiators, Orlando Solar Bears, and the Gladiators wearing their Blues Clues sweaters.
Love it.
All right, so now we've set the table for you. Let's pick it up in the second period. And Dylan Carabia from the blue line for a goal. So listen, I need you to mark it in the notebook. First goal, Carabia. Kate Oliver and Sang-Hoon Shin got the assist. What we do in life echoes in eternity. Remember that if you're on the Gladiators in this one. All right, later in the second, same score. Follow the clues with me. The Gladiators come away with the loose puck off the turnover. Cameron Kiley scores. Gladiators take advantage of the 2-on-1. Mark it in the notebook. Kiley, goal. Reese Vitelli, the assist. Let's keep in the second, because we're having so much fun. Easy. Follow the clues on this one. There you go. All right.
Where's Steve?
Bodie Wild gets the steal on one end. Oh, takes it all the way to the other end and scores. That is Wild, one end to the other. Easy clues in the notebook on this one. Wild, unassisted. Gladiators say, time for so long, they can do anything that they want to do. And the Gladiators beat the Solar Bears 5-0.
Let's be honest. There's no way to say it. This guy has been botched.
All right, well, let's see him. Bailey! How are you? Nice to meet you.
Well, first of all, what happened to the forehead and what's going on around the brow where he looks angry?
Sinister. Do you want us to proceed? Do you want us to help?
Are you sure?
All right, we'll see you in the operating room.
All right, this is crazy because I just got a text from Barry Melrose, who's still in on all things Kings.
Yeah.
And he tells me that Bailey, the Kings mascot, is going to be rejoining the team Saturday. He had the facial surgery.
Yeah, big news, breaking news. Bailey went on IR earlier this week dealing with an upper body injury. Guys, what's happening with the camera?
It feels like the camera's botched right now. Let's check this
going
out. Yo, Bailey, dude, what is up?
Can you even see with those things on? Bless your heart.
Dude, take a sick day. They don't pay you for those.
You need to go home and get some rest. You had a big day Saturday.
Come on, man. You're better than that.
Oh boy. I can't wait for that reveal, just like you couldn't wait for top plays. Let's get going. Number 10. Field hockey, Fairfield, Wagner. It's Nora Ama receiving the ball between the legs to Juliana Kratz. And Krabs, that's a beauty. There she goes for the goal. Nice passing. Fairfield would win.
She's a beauty. That number 9. Jose Alvarado knows where his bread's buttered. Right there. Zion Williamson. Only had 16 points. But that was enough against a shorthanded Warriors team.
I said, who cares with a slam like that? UMass UConn for number 8. It's Brady Olson throwing downfield. Isaac Ross diving, lay out, full on stretch. Yep, teach that in yoga. UMass would lose.
Yeah, UConn coach Jim Moore, a friend of the program.
Oh, yeah.
Jeremy Grant, friend, not of the Suns. Portland Trailblazers beat the Suns. Suns have 2 losses on the season, both against Portland. That at the buzzer in Phoenix.
Number 6, women's college soccer. 22nd minute in the second half. It is Texas A&M Commerce Ashley Compositano. The free kick from 45 yards out. Woo! They'd win.
Tight. 5. Raptors Mavericks. The Dawn. Luka Doncic. A lot of dribbling, but when you can do that at the end, you're excused. Mavs got the win. Went all Dirk on them.
Shooter. Number 4, Bulls, Celtics, Malcolm Brogdon. The pass, Jaylen Brown. How are ya? Everybody from the bench, get on your feet. Everyone in Boston, get on your feet. Just right over Nikola Vucevic. Sorry about it. Celtics win.
Alexander Georgiev, the star here, the Avs goalie, reaching back and stopping the puck against the Blue Jackets. This was in Finland, I believe, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Someone said it's Molly in Finnish. That's a goal.
No, all right. No Molly there.
Nope.
Avs win.
Number 2, hashtag where's Stan?
Where is Stan?
Hole 4, par 3, maybe. Brian Harmon teeing off. Go to your home. Hit the green. 1 shot, 1 ball. That's an ace.
Seriously, if you see Stan, tell him to call home. Nets, Wizards, Kevin Durant, Daniel Gafford.
Oh.
Sliding away. Listen, Durant said it was more he thought the kid slipped more than the move, but, you know.
That was being nice.
Yeah, and we're not. We're not. Yeah. Durant.
Exposed.
And a much-needed Nets win.
Guys, there's something on the ship. There's something with us here.
What do we do?
Get to the escape pods. Go now!
Okay, I'm an alien, and I got these claws. I'm climbing the wall now.
If you're making a sci-fi movie, you need to finish the special effects.
Does that look good?
And if you want to save by bundling home and car insurance, you need Geico.
Guys? Uh-oh.
See how much you could save by bundling with Geico.
Is that going to be a problem?
A breakfast croissant plus seasoned potatoes for $3, and they're red shirting you?
It's just a standard work shirt.
Hey, let us stay humble, man.
Thank you, Reg.
Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's $3 breakfast deal.
Jameson, a smooth triple distilled whiskey, knows when people
Guess you really had to be there.
just get you. That's when this spark just happens. So pull up a chair. There's always a seat for you at the table. Jameson, widen the circle.
Follow the yellow brick road. Follow the yellow brick road. Follow the yellow brick road.
Heart-pounding design, intelligent technology, courageous performance. Discover a new world of possibilities with a bold new take on the Lexus RX. Never lose your edge.
How does Popeye's chicken sandwich get so crunchy, juicy, and tasty? We make everything with love. Make your taste buds dance for $4.49. We make the Popeyes Cajun Turkey with love, too. Order it while you still can.
Daddy printed out my permission slip, right? Steven?
Do you suffer from cartridge conniptions? Be conniption free thanks to the cartridge free Epson EcoTank printer. Big ink tanks, a ridiculous amount of ink. The Epson EcoTank, just fill and chill.
Where can you go for the latest must-haves and every season's nice-to-haves? Lowe's, actually. Find everything you need and more this holiday at Lowe's.
The magic is calling you to stay at a Disney Resort hotel, where you're surrounded by the world's most magical celebration. The fun never stops. Special friends greet you. You soar to adventures with extra time in any of the 4 theme parks every day.
Don't miss the Walt Disney World 50th anniversary celebration. Save up to $400 on a 4-night, 4-day room and ticket package at select Disney Resort hotels.
This holiday, make no mistake, everything here is Philadelphia cheesecake. Cheesecake is everything. Make your own.
Can I kick it? Can I kick it? This is my maker's moment, and I make it remarkable.
Let's talk about your dirty ears. And let me guess, you're probably cleaning them with these. You need to be using Whoosh. Trust me, no one wants to tell you how gross your ears look. So whoosh yourself, you dirty you. Get 15% off and free shipping at trywhoosh.com.
Death Valley roars to life. Tremendous anticipation for this top 10 collision of SEC team. Death Valley at 9 challenges anybody.
First Saturday in November with this great rivalry.
The game with playoff implications.
Alabama LSU tonight on ESPN.
Here's our next UFC Fight Night Saturday from the Apex in Vegas. Our women's strawweight main event, Marina Rodriguez and Amanda Lemos. Prelims 4 Eastern. Main card is at 7 Eastern on ESPN Plus. If you don't have it, get it, ESPNplus.com, or get the app.
All right, in the 808, we like to say it's Aloha Friday.
Truly.
No work till Monday. Well, West Toronto Prep's got some work to do on their offense because against IMG Academy, it was 96-0 at half of the football game, and then IMG said, you know what? Well, we won't work till Monday either. They didn't. They said we're done.
That was halftime.
Yeah, that's a tough one right there.
Enjoy your weekend. Take some rest. Figure it out Monday.
£185 UFC champion Israel Adesanya is quite literally unstoppable at his weight class.
He's a truly unique talent. His kickboxing, his striking is on another level.
With 23 wins in 23 middleweight fights.
That is it! Still undisputed! Quick night at the office for the champion Israel Adesanya!
Now defending his title with ease.
He's too good, wow.
The crop of potential threats Adesanya's crown appears to be wearing thin. But a former foe from a past life has entered the fray. Before MMA glory,
Israel, what a show!
Adesanya was a decorated kickboxing champion.
Your king of the ring, Israel Adesanya!
Believe in whatever you want to do, you can do it, I promise.
But the only man to ever knock him out between the ropes has now made his own transition to mixed martial arts.
Pereira is one of the best strikers on earth. Knocked out Israel Adesanya with one punch with kickboxing gloves.
The Brazilian powerhouse, Alex Pereira,
This is what this man has been doing his entire kickboxing career.
plans to replicate his previous meetings with the champion.
Vender é uma coisa, o que eu vou fazer na hora é outra. Eu estou preparado para tudo.
That's it. You cannot stand in front of that man. This guy does that to the best kickboxers on planet Earth. I mean, that's the same hooks he knocked out Adesanya with.
That was then, and this is now.
You're walking in there against your equal. They're gonna go to court.
Now it's time for my story.
His legacy as a champion would not be complete if he didn't fight Alex Pereira now.
When I finish him for MSG, I'm gonna blow the roof off that bitch.
The Middleweight Showcase tops the stacked UFC 281 pay-per-view billing in New York City, which features another title bout in the co-main event.
The undisputed strawweight championship is at stake.
The strawweight queen Carla Esparza
This woman is fierce. Carla's a different level. She is an absolute killer.
battles former champion Zhang Weili.
She's done everything she can to become champion of the world once more. Spinning back, oh my God.
Plus, former interim lightweight king Dustin Poirier
This is what I do. I live for this. That's how you fight.
faces former title challenger Michael Chandler.
I want you at the baddest, and I want you at the best. Oh! There is not one MMA fan on the planet that doesn't want to see me.
But before the stars touch down in the world's most famous arena, first,
Keep your eye on the ball. Yeah, still going up.
get ready
You only become more dangerous at this point. You ain't gonna be ready for that.
for UFC 281.
Chandler, beware. My man is sharp. He'll knock your ass out.
Countdown. Another day in Auckland, New Zealand means another day in the high life. For UFC middleweight champion Israel Adesanya, a modern-day action hero, first attracted to combat by allures of the big screen.
Bruce Lee's the godfather of MMA.
Ooh, okay, thank you. We try some of this action.
But for me, Jackie Chan was that guy. He was the one that when I used to watch him on movies, I'd be chuckling, I'd be smiling, I'd be amazed at what he's doing.
Yeah, it's not bad. I want to send it though.
He is the guy that kind of got me into martial arts, and I took up Taekwondo at my primary school at the time. And then one day I watched Tony Jaa in Ong Bak. That was the movie that made Muay Thai mainstream to the world.
Oh, this feels good. This one's a good one.
After seeing that, I decided to take up Muay Thai because it looked very realistic.
Oh, here we go.
Well, that's not bad. It is not bad. I had my first fight within, I think, 3 weeks of training, and the rest was history.
Trained by Eugene Barron and Doug Vine from Z Kickboxing in New Zealand. He is the last style bender.
This kid's got something special.
He does things that so many people can't even dream of. That is all style from Adesanya.
My style was always different. I was very fluid.
Very elusive and unorthodox. The problem is you can't hit what you can't touch.
Very creative, very intelligent with my style.
He's certainly a showman in the ring, but thus far in his career, he's been able to back it up.
I felt like I was the best.
Israel Adesanya reigns supreme.
Adesanya would compete in kickboxing for nearly a decade and earned 4 tournament championships.
He is the cruiserweight king in the ring.
But his time in the ring is more often associated with a pair of defeats, which came at the hands of Brazilian Alex Pereira.
O lugar onde eu cresci foi na periferia de São Paulo. Eu sempre trabalhei com meu pai, né, de servente de pedreiro, isso até antes dos 12 anos de idade. Depois dos 12 anos de idade, eu fui trabalhar em uma borracharia. E eu fui aprendendo ali, ter uma qualidade de vida não muito legal, né? onde estava difícil ali, cada vez eu ia me afundando mais, né, na bebida, e eu falei, pô, eu tenho que parar, né, e é onde eu conheci a arte marcial, especificamente o kickboxing.
Aqui o pau tá comendo. Ô, rapaz. Mas que hobby é esse que disse aí, uau. Vai na trocação, contra a mesa esquerda.
Os meus principais títulos no kickboxing é campeão brasileiro,
Alexandre Pereira, nocaute técnico.
campeão pan-americano, campeão do WGP, oito vezes campeão do Glory, e nessas 8 lutas eu me tornei o primeiro campeão duplo do Glory.
现在呢，看到登场的就是中国新的黑龙，新西兰国籍的选手。
Minha primeira luta com a Adesanya foi na China, foi uma luta dura, né, mas eu estava no começo da minha carreira.
黑龙阿迪赛亚呢，他是一个技巧型、技术性的打法，应付对手的这个凶狠的 KO 能力。对，大家仔细看黑龙的这个躲闪的动作，但佩雷拉这个 KO 力量。
I felt like I handily won.
拳是贴的比较好，这么好，我觉得是真的是非常难。
Unanimous decision in the blue corner.
You can even see in our faces, he thought he lost the fight, but then when his hand got raised, he was surprised, and I was surprised. Sometimes, really judging.
Senhoras e senhores, fãs de kickboxing em São Paulo e todo o Brasil, chegamos à penúltima luta da noite.
And then for the second fight, that was in Brazil.
Recebam Alex
Tava um round meio que igual.
佩雷拉的这个终结率将近70%啊，是你要小心，要小心呐。黑龙就是一种步步为营的这种方式，学习电影上的。
Quando a gente foi pro segundo, até a metade do segundo round também tava meio que igual, aonde ele conectou umas mãos.
I put him on skates.
佩雷拉的裁判并没有叫停比赛，但佩雷拉刚才是有明显的这种。
But then the referee saved him.
他已经恍惚了一段时间了。是。
Hot in bed, heat-induced insomnia. That was my aha moment. Bed sheets that keep you cool. Then I thought, how do I even sell bed sheets? That's when I had the idea that made it all possible. Signing up on Shopify. With the help of Shopify's intuitive online store creator, I started selling sustainable bamboo sheets that keep cool year-round. And my cool idea became a reality. Hot sleepers around the world rejoice. Shopify makes it simple to keep your cool while starting and growing your business. Start selling with Shopify today and join the commerce platform powering millions of businesses worldwide. From aha to anything is possible.
This is Possibility, powered by Shopify. Start selling online today. Sign up for a free trial at shopify.com/play. Shopify.com/play.
Hey there, I'm Julie Foudy alongside Lynn Olzawi from the podcast Laughter Permitted. It's been so much fun to watch women's sports just crush it on so many fronts over these past few years, especially. But did you know, even though 84% of fans are interested in watching women's sports, female athletes receive only a fraction of media coverage?
Our friends at Ally believe when we invest in women's sports, we invest in women's futures. So this year, they launched their Watch the Game, Change the Game movement with a commitment to equal investment. Yes, you heard that right. Equal investment in women's sports media.
Not sure if you've seen Ally's most recent big move, but they helped get the NWSL Championship game upgraded to prime time on CBS for the first time in history. Yes, this is disruption. This has impact for generations to come. So join the movement and be part of that change. If you want to learn more, check out watchtochange.com because we're all better off with an ally.
Every college football season, Goodyear knows the importance of winning on the road. The road will always demand confidence. The confidence to handle whatever the journey brings and to perform under tough conditions. And just like the players and fans of college football, Goodyear is ready. Are you ready for the road? Visit Goodyear.com to find the right Goodyear tires for whatever road you're on this season. Goodyear. More driven.
This is SportsCenter all night on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
Oh, it's a big weekend. SportsCenter all night, ESPN Radio, the ESPN app, Sirius XM Channel 80, presented by Progressive Insurance. Now, the Houston Astros have flipped the script after trailing 2-1 in the Fall Classic. The Astros head back home up 3-2 in the series, a win away from their second championship in franchise history. Framber Valdez gets the starting nod in Game 6 for the Astros. He'll be opposed by Zach Wheeler, right-hander of the Philadelphia Phillies. Dusty Baker, the Astros manager, has had a terrific career, but the one thing eluding him, a World Series title. Former big leaguer Curtis Granderson jumped on Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max to give the Astros manager some much-deserved love.
He's someone I wish I would have had a chance to play for. You know, you look down the list of players you wanted to play for, but that's a manager I wish I had a chance to lead me when I was stepping on the field. So he brings this one home, and he's just getting older and older. But at the same time, I don't see him stepping away from the game. He could be one of those managers that kind of goes against the trend we're seeing in baseball where they're getting younger and younger. Here's someone that's one of the oldest that if he wins, keep him around and see if he can get older and older and keep winning.
Remember, Dusty Baker inherited quite the situation when taking the Astros managerial position a few years ago when A.J. Hinch was dismissed. 20 years ago, Dusty Baker had a 3-2 series lead with the San Francisco Giants in the World Series, but would fall in 7 games to the then Anaheim Angels. Here's Friday's Top Sounds with Steve Lennox.
Number 4.
Chris, ACC college football Friday night. Duke on the road against Boston College Blue Devils. Riley Leonard. This impressive run coming in the first quarter. David Shoemate the call from Learfield.
From the shotgun, here's Leonard. Ready? Here's the snap. Awkward one-handed it well. Going to keep it himself running right. 45, bounces outside. Here goes Leonard. 40, 30, down the right sideline. Say goodbye. Touchdown. Well, he made amends. And Riley Leonard is dancing in the end zone as the Blue Devils strike first.
Number 3.
On the ice, NHL Friday night, the hat trick for Mr. Aho of the Hurricanes. The call from 99.9, The Fan.
Puck comes out to Teravainen. Aho! Bingo! Here come the hats!
Number 2.
NBA Celtics home in Boston against the Bulls Friday night. How about the throwdown from Jaylen Brown? The call from 98.5, The Sports Hub.
Cross to the left hand. Kick out to the cutter. Jaylen elevates and throws it down hard with the right hand over Vucevic. Jaylen Brown has entered the chat.
Number 1.
Lots going on right now off the court with the Brooklyn Nets. Kevin Durant says he just wants to play some hoops. He did that Friday night in our nation's capital as the Nets blow out the Wizards. Iron Eagle the call on the Yes Network.
Thomas to Durant. The fake. The second. Oh! Ankle breaker! KD! Put it on the highlight reel. You got the double gasp from the crowd.
Those are Friday night's Top Sounds with Steve Lennox. Can only imagine what the Top Sounds will ring tomorrow night later on, as Saturday brings us many great college football matchups and, of course, Game 6 of the World Series in Houston. Well, on Friday night in Crypto.com Arena, the Los Angeles Lakers, remember they started 0-5. They've since won 2 straight, piecing together wins at home over the Denver Nuggets and in overtime after a Matt Ryan 3-point buzzer beater to tie the game a few nights ago against the Pelicans. LeBron and the Lakers welcoming in the Utah Jazz on Friday night. Utah would have a lot of success. They'd fill it up all night long, already at 113 points in the fourth quarter. Mike Conley would add on for the Jazz.
Conley, pick and roll with Markin, open side, bounce pass to Markin, tough catch on his hip, recovers, throws it back to Conley, standing next to Clarkson. They respace, 1 on the clock. Conley throws up a prayer and it's answered. Wow.
Well, the Jazz, remember, they kind of blew things up in the offseason. Rudy Gobert was sent in the trade to Minnesota. Donovan Mitchell was sent over to the Cleveland Cavaliers. But 6-3 entering this matchup on Friday. And with a late lead, a former Laker puts this one on ice for Utah.
Use the time. They're getting the ball out of Conley's hand because Beverly's guarding it. 10 on the clock. Now Clarkson starts with 8. Drives, gets all the way to the window and dunks it. Does a pull-up, flares back the other way, and has a little extra former Laker vengeance in that slam dunk.
97.5 the zone. Then the Utah Jazz roll on the road. They hand the Lakers their 6th loss, 130-116. Utah got to be the best surprise early in the season, right? The Jazz are 7-3. Lakers dropped to 2-6. Utah led by 27 points from Lauri Markkanen, one of 5 players in double figures. Jordan Clarkson, the former Laker, pitched in 20 points in 29 minutes. On the other side, Anthony Davis led the way in the starting lineup for the Lakers with 22, but it was Russell Westbrook with a team-high 26 off the bench. LeBron James in 34 minutes, 17 points, 10 rebounds, 8 assists, went 0 of 5 from above the three-point line as the Lakers continue struggling from deep to start the season. In Dallas, a really good one on Friday night as the Toronto Raptors visited the Mavericks. Tight game in the fourth as the Raptors made their comeback, but Luka Doncic to the rescue for Dallas.
Didn't win it inbound the ball from the left sideline. Behind the hash mark, into Bullock. Chested up on by Trent. One bounce and holds. Luka comes and gets it against Barnes. 7 to shoot. Tells everybody to clear out. Along the left sideline. Will step back. Shoot the 3. Hit it! 34 for Doncic. He's 3 of 4 from deep tonight. It's 108-101.
That was heard on 97.1 The Freak. Another night where Luka Doncic stuffs the stat sheet. 35 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. His 8th straight game with 30 points as the Mavs hold off the Raptors 111-110. Dallas now 5-3. Raptors dropped to 5-4 despite outscoring Dallas by 14 in Friday's fourth quarter. In Phoenix, Trailblazers. Portland still without Damian Lillard, but it was a tight game late. Yusuf Nurkic with the Blazers down 2 late in the fourth.
Gets into Nurk. Here's Grant. Grant drives, goes to the rim, throws it up. No good. Lots of contact everywhere. Nurk's putback is in, ties the game.
Rip City Radio, 620. It was tied 106-106. Now, usually this is Dame time, but with no Lillard, the Blazers would turn to a big offseason acquisition to try and get it done on the road in the desert.
Winslow holds on to it. Throws it in for Grant. He fades away and buries it. He hits it. His time expires. It deflected off the hand of DeAndre Ayton. They're going to review it. But as of right now, Jeremy Grant hits the game-winning shot.
After review, the call on the floor was confirmed, and Portland, behind Jeremy Grant, get out of Phoenix with a 108-106 victory. Grant goes for a game-high 30 points. Blazers, under Chauncey Billups, improved to 6-2. For the Phoenix Suns, just their second loss of the young season. The Suns now also at 6-2. Elsewhere in the association, Grizzlies all over the visiting Charlotte Hornets tonight, 130-99. Memphis started that game by erupting with 41 first quarter points. Hey, thanks for staying up with us all night on SportsCenter all night. I'm Chris Sylvester. Up next, we bring you Dari and Mel, previewing a big day of college football and Game 6 of the World Series. This is SportsCenter all night on ESPN Radio.
Coming up on Monday, will it be the Phillies or the Astros who come away with the World Series title? You won't miss that in our reaction right here on Keyshawn, J. Will and Max, Monday morning at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and ESPN2.
From food pantries and shelters to youth centers and playgrounds, communities need support as they work hard to recover from the pandemic. Lowe's has committed $100 million to make a positive impact on the millions of Americans and the communities it serves through its Lowe's Hometowns program, which invites people from across the country to nominate their hometown projects in need. Each year from 2022 through 2026, Lowe's Hometowns will complete nearly 1,800 community impact projects across the country. Find details on Lowe's Hometowns project at lowes.com/hometowns and at hashtag Lowe's Hometowns on social media.
Football season is underway, so now is the perfect time to download FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Because right now, new customers get a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. Just sign up with promo code PLAY. FanDuel has all your favorite bets from the money line to point spreads to player props. So sign up today with promo code PLAY for your no-sweat first bet. Make every moment more this season with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NFL.
21 plus in select states. First online real money wager only. Refund issued as non-withdrawable free bets that expires in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit fanduel.com/RG in Colorado, Iowa, Michigan, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Illinois, and Virginia. 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342 in Arizona. 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. 1-800-9-WITH-IT in Indiana. 1-800-522-4700 or visit ksgamblinghelp.com in Kansas. 1-877-770-STOP Louisiana. 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY to 467-369 in New York. Tennessee Redline 1-800-889-9789 in Tennessee. 1-800-522-4700 in Wyoming or visit 1-800-GAMBLER.net in West Virginia. The only thing better than watching your favorite team live is watching your favorite team live for free. When you buy 10 tickets with Vivid Seats, you can get your 11th ticket free with Vivid Seats Rewards. And Vivid Seats is celebrating their favorite number by giving away over $11,000 in free tickets with 11 days of giveaways. Now through November 11th, visit vividseats.com/win. That's vividseats.com/WIN for all the details. Age and eligibility restrictions apply.
Will they find a home? Sponsored by Geico. Jane doesn't mind an apartment with no elevator.
5 flights of stairs is 5 plates of cardio.
Bob is a little less enthusiastic about stairs.
I hate stairs.
Compromise is tough, but these two won't have to compromise when they bundle renters and car insurance with Geico. It's easy, and they could save even more. In the end, Jane and Bob found an apartment that's a 4-story walk-up. And Bob?
Yeah, there's a freight elevator she doesn't know about.
What were you talking about?
Oh, nothing.
Bundling without compromise at geico.com.
With other lenders, it can feel like they're calling the wrong plays. Not Cross Country Mortgage. They're the masterminds behind perfect play calling. Go with them, and your home loan experience will end in a victory parade in your new neighborhood. You're the perfect free agent to sign with the best loan originators in the game, and Cross Country Mortgage is dedicated to getting it done. Reach out to them today at ccm.com. That's ccm.com. Equal housing opportunity. All loans subject to underwriting approval. Cross Country Mortgage, LLC, NMLS 3029, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Tonight on ESPN Radio, 10th ranked LSU welcomes the 6th ranked Alabama Crimson Tide in a critical showdown in the SEC West.
And it will be Saturday night in Death Valley.
6th ranked Alabama and 10th ranked LSU, presented by Dr. Pepper. Coverage begins tonight at 6:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN. You can also listen on the ESPN app and on your smart speaker.
Hey, it's Greeny, and it's the best sports weekend of the year, the World Series, all the football, college, and pro, plus the NBA and NHL in action, and Monday will be the place to talk about it all with me, Greeny, starting 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
The World Series continues on ESPN Radio. The Astros escape Philadelphia, winning 2 of 3.
Jeremy Pena home run, and the Astros go on top 2-1.
Now the series returns to Houston, where the Phillies face a must-win Game 6. Will they survive? Game 6 of the Astros and Phillies, presented by AutoZone. Coverage begins tomorrow at 7 Eastern on ESPN Radio. You can also listen on the ESPN app and on your smart speaker. This is SportsCenter.
Hello there. I'm Mark Robbins. The Brooklyn Nets played and won their first game without suspended star Kyrie Irving and with interim head coach Jacque Vaughn. Remember, Steve Nash got fired this week. Leading the way, Kevin Durant had 28 points and a 128-86 thumping of the Washington Wizards. Irving, who issued an apology late Thursday for promoting an anti-Semitic movie and book,
also lost his endorsement deal Friday with Nike. The company saying it is suspending its relationship with Irving and won't be launching the Kyrie 8, which was next in line of his popular sneaker. Irving's former teammate, LeBron James, giving his thoughts on Kyrie's comments.
There's no place in this world for it. Nobody can benefit from that. And I believe, what Kyrie did caused some harm to a lot of people. And he has since, over the last, I think today or was it yesterday, he apologized. But he caused some harm. And I think it's unfortunate.
That's LeBron James. Elsewhere in the NBA, Bucks improved to 8-0, first time in franchise history, 115-102 over the T-Wolves. Luka Doncic with 35 points, helping Dallas pass Toronto 111-110. Luka with at least 30 points in all 8 games that Dallas has played this season. Game 6 of the World Series coming up a little bit later on today. The Astros leading the Phillies 3-2. And coverage begins 7 p.m. Eastern here on ESPN Radio. Coming up now on ESPN Radio, why, it's Dari and Mel.
Hey, it's Greeny, and it's the best sports weekend of the year, the World Series, all the football, college, and pro, plus the NBA and NHL in action, and Monday will be the place to talk about it all with me, Greeny, starting 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
This is Dari and Mel on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
Good Saturday morning to you. It is Dari and Mel on a massive college football Saturday. Massive college football Saturday, Mel. We're always presented by Progressive Insurance. We want to make sure you are a part of Dari and Mel Nation. Dr. Pepper call-in line. Hit us up, 888-SAY-ESPN, 888-729-3776. I just want to open it. You look, if you're a volunteer, you're a Bulldog, you're an LSU Tiger, you're a Tide, just your thought, your general thought on the day, okay? Because we've got massive games. Again, 888-SAY-ESPN, ESPN Nation, presented by Dr. Pepper. It ain't college football season without the delicious taste of an ice-cold Dr. Pepper, the one fans deserve. This is going to come across because I'm my TV job, SEC Network, blah, 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 blah. As I'm like touting my network and touting my conference. None of that. None of this. I'm not an SEC guy by nature. I'm a college football guy, Mel. But to have 2 games in the same league that carry the college football playoff weight, that Tennessee at Georgia, 1-3, Alabama at LSU, 6-10 carry, is significant. There are 3 teams that I do currently, including a 2-loss LSU team, that are firmly in the college football playoff picture that with a loss today, in my estimation, cannot get in. Georgia, Bama.
Tennessee plus, I think they're going to win the game. Tennessee plus 9. What did that game open at, Dari?
11.5, I believe.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's even more incredible than what it was at 8.5. Now, at 9, if you like them, but you remember what it opened at. So, to me, that's the one game where I have not had anybody say, yeah, I'd lay the points and feel really good about it as a best bet, or even a bet for that matter. You're red hot, by the way. You're 8-1 now with your best bet. So, you have Tennessee today plus the 9, trying to go to 9-1. But, we'll talk a lot about this game as to what needs to happen. Hendon Hooker, the sensation he's been, Jalen Hyatt, the incredible player he's been. I mean, this team is loaded.
Top 25 team goes down.
Henry on the way, and it's good. Penalty flag at the 5.
And Oregon State falls. Number 23 of the land falls at Washington. With that field goal, Huskies win it 24-21. College football doubleheader on ESPN Radio. 11:30 a.m. Eastern is when coverage begins. North Carolina, Virginia, and then number 6, Alabama. at 10th ranked LSU. 6:30 Eastern. Game 6 of the World Series later today as well.
Coming up Monday, what's it going to take for the New York Football Giants to run the NFC East moving forward? We'll lay it out on Keyshawn J. Willimax Monday morning, 6 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio and ESPN2. Monday morning, 6 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio and ESPN2.
Oh, all right, let's go. Let's see what we're doing here. Mel, I've been told that Ronald never truly was gone when we tried to have him give us his Rocky top. I'm not sure, but Ronald is with us. Ronald, how are you, my friend, feeling this morning as you are hours away from your Vols in Georgia?
I am very, very good. Honestly, I only slept a couple hours last night, but I just
Your team every day. Search Locked On plus your favorite NBA team on the Odyssey app or wherever you get podcasts. The Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.